All right, this demo is going to be on the blade holder, the second SOLIDWORKS drawing we're going to do here. So the blade holder is going to look something like this. You've seen this part before, obviously. It's 425 long, it's 1.625 deep, and it's 3 tall. We're going to start with that, getting the box going. All right, so here we go. File new, part inch, and hit OK. We're going to start on the front view just like we did the first drawing and go sketch on it. And we're going to make our box very much like we did on the special key and corner rectangle. And it's going to kind of click there and drag that out just like we did before. Okay, so again, the size was 425 long, 1.625 deep, and 3 tall. So we want the smart dimension on the length to be 425. 4.25, and we want the height to be 3. We're going to go ahead and features, extrude boss base. We're going to make the depth of the part 1.625 right there. So we're going to go in here, 1.625, enter, and then go ahead and green check that, and we have a box. We're going to cut out the box. We're going to start on the top right corner here. We have a 1 and we have a 2.125, so we're going to go ahead and start with that cut. So I'm going to pick on the surface. We're going to sketch on it, go to the front view, and turn off the shading. All right, so let's go ahead and make our cut. Corner rectangle. So what we're looking for there is smart dimension from here to here, 2.125. Whoops, didn't do that very well, did I? 2.125. And how far down? I believe that was 1. Like so. And then we're going to go ahead and green check that. And we'll go features, extrude cut. Be careful, don't do extrude boss base. If you do that, it'll add to it. You don't want to add, you want to subtract. So we're doing an extrude cut. And we'll go ahead and go through all and green check it, and you have your first cut. Okay, now we're going to do is on the side view. We're going to do a couple of cuts on the side view. So if I go back and look at the part, we have a cut on the side view that's 0.625 and 0.625 on the right of it, and on the other side we have a 0.625 and a 0.375 on the left side. So we're going to hit both of those at the same time. All right, which means we're going to be on the side surface here. So I'm going to pick it and sketch on it, and let's go over to the side view. Right side. All right, so the way this is going to look is you're going to have a cut like here, and then you have another cut kind of like that, and you get that Z shape, if you remember that part back when we did AutoCAD. All right, so let's get our dimensions in. They said from here to here was 0.625. And then they said from here to here is 0.625. You want to put the dimensions where you plan on having them in the part, and that'll help later on when we start putting these things on sheets. And I'm going to do a 0.625 here. And we're going to give a depth. Now this is the different one right here. So this one is 0.375. All right, so it looks something like that. I'm going to tilt it just so you can see what's going on there. Say we're on that plane right there. It doesn't matter if it's actually hitting the surface. It'll eventually hit it when we pass through. So we're going to go ahead and features, extrude cut, through all, and green check it. And we have the 2 cuts. All right, our next piece is going to be the holes. So we're going to be sketching, of course, on this surface where the holes are. So we're going to pick that surface and sketch on it. Let's go ahead and go to the front view. And let's see what's going on with these holes. So it looks like we have a 1 inch, a 225, and a 1.312. And those holes are 0.625. So Let's start by making holes. Now this could be different than AutoCAD. In AutoCAD, we lay it at our center lines first, and then we use the intersection of those to place the holes. SolidWorks would be a little different, actually a lot different. So here we go. We're going to make a circle, and I'm just going to put this circle completely crappy right there. I'm going to put another circle right there, completely crappy. All right, way big, way small, doesn't matter. All right, first thing we're going to do once we got those placed is we're going to dimension them. I'm going to go ahead and dimension this one like so. And let's go ahead and say that is 0.625. And it's the right size, in the wrong place, but the right size. Now instead of dimensioning the other one 0.625, we're going to give it a rule. We're going to say, I'm going to escape here a little bit. I'm going to pick the edge of the circle, hold the control key down and pick the edge of the circle. I'm going to say that those are equal. So what happens is if one of them changes size, let's say to 1, that they both change size. So again, if that was something like 0.2, then they would both be really small. So I want that to be a 0.625, and so the rule kind of applies to both circles. Okay, next, we know that they're going to be aligned up, right? Going horizontally. So I'm going to pick the center of the circle, hold the control key down and pick the center of the circle, and we're going to make those horizontal, which means if one of them moves, then the other one moves. All right. Now let's go ahead and do our dimensions here, smart dimension. You'll notice that the circles are blue because we don't have a location on them yet. All right, so we're going to go from here to here, and that was 1.312, 1.312. That's good. And then from here to here, I believe that was 1. See how they're both moving? And then from here to here was 2.25. Now you'll notice they just turned black because now they both have a location. Now what I would want to do here is just move that dimension out. Kind of get it where you want it. You're not going to be able to put the 2x in front of that here. That'll be somewhere else. Yeah, so we're kind of located there. I'm just going to twist this to show you kind of where we are right there. And let's go ahead and cut it out. Features, extrude cut, through all, and green check. Cool thing about this, if I turn this shading on, you can see the hole going through and stuff like that. If I put this in a hidden line mode, check this out. When I go to the front view, hidden lines are there. If I go to the right side view, hidden lines are there. Center lines aren't, but hidden lines are. If I go to the top view, are there any hidden lines on the top view? Let's find out. Absolutely. You have this one here, if you remember this part, and then of course there's a center line down there. So you're not going to have to chase down those hidden lines like you did in AutoCAD. SolidWorks is going to give those to you kind of automatically, which is really neat. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a 3D view there, so like isometric. And we can turn on the shading, and your part is done. That is the blade holder.